Howdy, guys. Welcome to Cliff Notes Live. Welcome to another Monday right here in the middle of the August. I hope y'all are doing fantastic. This is a special night. For those of you who don't know why, you're about to find out. And I'm very excited. Not that I'm always excited to be talking to y'all guys, no matter what. But we get a little extra excitement this evening. First of all, let me start off like I always do with a big old SKD 143. Love my wife. I love my kids. I love all the reality fans out there, and especially the Big Brother reality world folks. Man, Big Brother's so much fun. I can't believe how many people I've met just from my experiences from getting to go in that house. It's so exciting. So thank y'all. Thank y'all for coming on board this evening. For those of you who aren't watching live, and I'm sure especially tonight, we'll have some that are watching us on replay as well. Welcome to y'all as well. I haven't forgotten about you. And feel free to come out on Monday nights and watch as well on down the road. Would love to have you take your questions. I'll talk about just about anything. Y'all know me. I'll talk away the whole night through. So with that being said, all right, a couple of things before we talk about kind of why it's a special night. I always talk about this day in history and everything else. And let me turn down. I'm going to do one thing, guys. I'm turning down my display a little bit so y'all don't see quite as much of a glare. All these things we have to figure out. All right, couple of things before we go. This day in history, two big old events that happened, both music related, but I thought they were important to talk about. First of all, turning 63 today. Happy birthday to Madonna. Hey! Now, y'all think of me as the country western guy, dancing with the wife, drinking beers, playing dominoes. I love the country music, but I'm a huge Madonna fan as well. I can do a little Vogue if I need to as well. So happy birthday to Madonna. On less happy turns, this day in 1977, Elvis Presley left the building. Almost shook up. Mm-hmm. I listen to a lot of, my parents listen to a lot of Elvis, which meant I listen to a lot of Elvis. So yeah, Elvis, to you, sir. All right. With that being said, I don't want y'all out here dragging forever saying, when is he ever going to get to what we actually came out here? Because y'all don't want to hear that. Y'all want to hear a little different, right? So without further ado, I want to introduce to the person that doesn't really need an introduction. Y'all know her as Big Brother 21's America's favorite player. Big Brother 21's third place finisher. Should have been in the top two, right? I know her as my absolute ride or die, my Big Brother friend for life, fellowship of the Zing, all the way to the end. Nicole Anthony, woo! And there she is.
Hello, Cliff. Hello.
I'm so glad our technology works. I'm so glad that we actually figured out how to do this.
I love it. I was voguing when you're talking about Madonna. I was doing some of this when you were talking about Elvis. And I'm ready.
I remember one time sitting in the house and we were listening to, I think, Kat and Holly and some of them talking about all their Instagram and all this technology. And you and I are just sitting here saying, what in the world? And I remember, I think saying something like, yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll teach each other. And look at us now.
I know, right? Aren't you proud of both of us? I never had social media. Now I'm there. You're doing Cliff Notes. We're just rocking and rolling with it.
We've entered the new generation, right? It's incredible. So how are you doing? What? First of all, this is your first summer that you haven't been trapped in a house over in Burbank, California.
Yes.
How does it feel to have freedom?
It is, Cliff. It's the weirdest thing. Like you're talking about, birthdays and whatnot. Tomorrow, the 17th, is my mom's birthday, and it's a big deal because this is the first time in 3 years that I'll actually be home. So 2 years ago, I shouted her out in the DR. Last year, I shouted her out in the DR. So this year, my mom's like, "You're actually home. We're celebrating my birthday together." So that's been like the biggest. I don't know. It's weird to be like, oh, back to life, back to family, back to home.
Back to the regular world for a little bit.
Yeah. I kind of like it though. It's Big Brother, Cliff, obviously, it's a weird journey, a weird experience. So to be back to like, I don't know, grounded life, it's like, oh, this is nice.
It certainly takes a little adjustment, especially when you do it over and over again. It's like Groundhog Day for you going back into that house the very next year.
I would say that's probably the toughest part of it, was having gone back not even a year later with COVID quarantine right in the middle. So it was locked in a house to locked in my house to back to locked in a house. And it's just been nice to, I mean, obviously the world's kind of closing again, but for the last couple months to be like, oh, I can venture out and not, be locked away for so long.
Further, KDR made a comment, said, Nicole, your hair looks great.
Thank you. Yes, it's been growing. It's been living its best life growing. And then if you guys follow my Instagram, I had the whole green dye debacle where Cliff, I tried to dye it a dark green, and I don't know what it did. It like bleached my head. There was gray, there was green, there was like a moldy color. It was just a fail. So I let it grow out. I let it, go away, and then I dyed it back to black. So we're we're back to it being a nice color.
I remember you with the reddish tint to the hair,
yes.
But then I also remembered you saying something about having some platinum hair once upon a time and going through different phases here and there.
I'm under very strict orders from the boyfriend that I cannot go back to the short platinum. That wasn't a look. It wasn't.
See, y'all have all these options. Me, it's just one hairstyle. That's all there is to it.
And you have different hat styles.
I do have different hat styles. Now, here's the deal. The hat that I wore in that house that I got everyone to sign, the one that you wore out of the house.
Yes.
Do you know, I don't know if you know this, I got all the signatures of our cast except for Jessica and Bella because they didn't come to the after party at that next night that we all celebrated there. They went home to see their family, so I can't fault them for that, but they didn't sign my hat.
Darn it. So we need to go on a road trip.
Well, I got one of the signatures last weekend. I went to a little Big Brother boxing match, and
you got Jess.
And Jessica was there, and I got her to sign my hat.
So we just have Bella left.
Bella's left, so I need to track Bella down and take her to dinner or something and get her to sign my hat for me.
I love that. So, okay, 15. That's very impressive, actually. That's really impressive. Wow. Because cool. When the season ended, when you went to the after party, how many did you get? Because you still had a couple that you were still missing then, right?
Well, I got everyone to sign it. It was just at the after party. Yeah, it was just at the after party. And all I got to say is they wouldn't let us write or do any kind of communication like that inside the house. And based on the handwriting of some of our house guests, it's probably just as well. I can't read half the signatures of these people who signed it, so I don't know.
Because we got out of the house and people gave us pens, and we were like, oh.
Yeah, our muscle memory went away completely. Either that or being exposed to a little alcohol after 3.5 months in that house with very little alcohol. Maybe that affected the signatures a little bit as well.
That affected us in the house when people would get like one beer and they're like, whoa!
I never could figure that out. I mean,
nope.
It's not like it. One beer, whoop-de-doo. I mean, yeah, it was nice to have it. You would think people were giving filet mignons and lobsters away. People were getting so excited at those things.
Right. And I'd be so upset. They'd be like, house guest, surprise in the storage room. And I'd be like, oh, please be cookies.
What do you ever, there were some nights, where it'd be cookies. That when we got to do the decorating, the cookies, that was fun. But then there were a few nights where we got things that we were like, yeah. Remember the giant buckets, the giant, I don't know what you call it, throwing the balls into the buckets.
Oh, yep.
Yard or the giant Jenga that we played for a little bit. It's like, would taken some fancy food or something instead.
The tie-dye was nice, but I wish we had gotten that maybe a week or two prior, and this way Tommy and Christy and everybody would have been there. We got that at a very awkward time.
Yeah, that was a little tough. That was when we were all, we tried to stay so close to one another, but a little bit of attention at that point in time. All right, another question for you. Ma is asking, Nicole, how do you feel about a mall entry video?
So a little bit of backstory to the mall entry video is Brian, my boyfriend, and I were out shopping, and we had walked up to what I now know was the mall entrance. I didn't know that. I'm out of state, and I thought it was the name of like the town or the name of the mall, like Mall Entry. So I asked him as we were walking up, I was like, what's Malintry? And he goes, what? I go, what's Malintry? Is that like where we are? And he goes, I don't know what you're talking about. And I was like, oh, okay. So we get a little bit closer, and he goes, wait, that? And I go, yeah, Malantroy. Is that the name of like the complex or the, I don't know, wherever we are? And we were talking about it for a good 1 or 2 minutes before he finally was like, no, I'm taking out my phone. Can you please say it again? And I'm like, oh my gosh, should I know what Malantroy is? Is it a famous location? And I'm racking my brain, and wasn't going to see the light of day, that video, until I had posted a video mocking him for the way he pronounces wolf. He pronounces it wolf. So I posted that as like who pronounces wolf like this, and that was his retaliation. And we did not anticipate the 1 million plus views on TikTok, and it's been a really interesting experience for everybody to know me as like Malentry.
I think it's funny that you're making fun of someone's accent, because I remember a time in the house where there was a lot of discussion about walking a dog.
You know what's funny, Cliff? I hear yours a lot more, like more and more now that we're out of the house. I think we all kind of either adjusted in there or kind of like picked up each other's. Like I feel like yours is really thick now, and I feel like mine has gotten back to really obnoxious.
I do think it's just hanging around now and talking to people down here that have more of an accent. Whereas with you guys, I was trying to, fit in as best I could, including turning the twang down just a little bit. All right, another conversation. Someone asked Nicole, are you still afraid of clowns? That's Jeannie Carter that asked him.
I am definitely still afraid of clowns. I would even argue I wasn't or didn't think I was afraid of clowns prior to Big Brother. I knew my sister was, and I was always like, why? A clown's a clown. I never really gave them much thought. It wasn't until Big Brother that I went, these things are freaky. And that's kind of how the clown fear started. So you guys saw the origins of the clown fear.
Those clowns were brutal, though. They weren't just your regular clowns. We were sitting in the RV room, and we had that one doing the throat slashing symbol and all, and they weren't your kids. They were like Stephen King type clowns in there.
Yeah, they were out to get me, and hopefully I can share this, but I remember being in the DR, and I said to production, I said, please, no matter what you do, please don't have one waiting for me when I exit the DR. I said, I will not leave. I will sit in this DR all night. I don't want one when I walk out, please. And they were like, yeah, Nicole, we got you. You're good. You're good. You're good. And I left, and there was one right there in the mirror. And that's when everybody was hiding, and I was convinced I was going to die.
Yeah, production already knew that we were all hiding up in the HOH room, and I felt so bad. After that, I thought, well, I hope she takes it in the humor it's intended. She's not going to just say, forget it. I'm voting them all out. There's no one left to do.
I was like, everybody's gone. I win.
Oh, my gosh. That was a fun night. That was, as stressful as it was nice to have a few moments like that inside that house, because until people, and it's funny because I'm watching this season again, and the people I've seen several people saying I had no clue what it was like in that house until I got in there, and truly no one watches. And with that in mind, someone did ask the question, said, Nicole, are you watching this season of Big Brother? You're watching a little bit, right?
I'm watching a little bit, and it's really strange because obviously I'm a fan first. So I've been watching the show for a decade. I'm obsessed with it, but also having been in it and obviously, Cliff, you can, agree to this, or, I imagine you feel the same way. Like after being in it, it's kind of like, ooh, like I walked on those floors, and that's where my bed was, and that's where I used to leave, I don't know, my favorite sweater, and that's where I used to sit and talk to Cliff. So there's a lot of weird, I guess the word is triggers. So I do watch it, not as religiously as I should, but I definitely catch the Thursday episodes are my favorite, the live episodes, I love those. But yeah, I kind of like come in and out. Like I'll watch it and then I kind of fade away, and then I miss an episode and then I catch up. And it's nothing against the house guests. It's nothing against the show. It's a weird adjustment time. Like I don't know how you felt last year watching, but I feel like it's weird when you're first watching it for the first time.
It's really weird because it's a different configuration, and yet it's still kind of the same floor plan. I drive Sharon crazy because I'll stop and say, hey, let me tell you something about this. Like just today, I was saying, that wood-looking herringbone stuff on the floor, that's just the cheapest, skinniest linoleum that you could possibly buy. It's just dirt. I mean, it's just thin and dirty.
And it's the same.
Who knows how many seasons.
I think they changed it. I don't know what it was before us, but that was our flooring. and it was the same flooring for All Stars, and now it's the same flooring again. And it's something like that when I see the house guests walking, I'm like, oh, I walked on that floor. I threw pies on that floor, and it's just like, ooh. It's weird.
I do get a little possessive. I watch it, say, well, that's my refrigerator. That's my name, whatever, and I remember it and recall it. So that's pretty good. Well, you watch it Thursday night. So do you have favorites right now that you're cheering for?
I adore Brittany. And I think obviously there's a similarity there. Like, she's a fellow quirky girl. She's a teacher, but also seeing her on the block, like week after week after week after week. I think I also have that like protectiveness that I had over watching Kevin last season. So it's kind of like, I love seeing her win that veto and get so emotional. Like I was crying while watching it because I was like, yeah, she finally did it. And I missed yesterday's episode, but I was told that she had been gifted a power, right? Yeah. Like the fans voted for her, which is incredible. So she's somebody that I just resonate with. And then I also, I love Azah. I just love her vibe, her energy. I feel like she's always I know she kind of gets herself into trouble sometimes with the way, but I love the way, I don't know, her air. Like she's a very good vibe about her. And I know she's somebody that I would just feel comfortable around.
Yeah, I want to talk about a few things, but I've said on this show I'm going to keep it spoiler free. If it hadn't happened yet on the episodes, I'm not going to do it. No, you didn't say anything. You're good. There's a few things that happened today that I could talk about, but I'm not. Yeah, I kind of go back and forth. I like Kylan and Sarah Beth. I was kind of cheering for them. It's kind of the duo and all that, and maybe I still am a little bit. But every time he's HOH this week, and when I see people in power, I always cheer for the underdogs.
Same.
There's really a part of me that's cheering for that former Jokers of Derek F. and Brittany and Azah, just because they're so out of the loop on everything, and I want them to do well, and we'll see what happens. But it's been interesting watching yet another season of that show. All right, Rachel's saying, what little things were you most grateful for outside of the house once you got out? Kind of focuses what your priorities are when you get out.
So much. I always say after BB21, because Cliff, we were in there a lifetime. After BB21, the little things were, I remember so well, windows. Like I remember getting into my house and being like, oh my God, I could look outside and it raining. I cried when I first saw the rain because it never rained in California. And I was like, I can finally see it. Like I'm getting emotional. So that was one of the biggest things, BB21, were the little windows, doors. I could leave when I want, cars, rain. All Stars was a lot more, it put in perspective like, oh man, like I love my family and I love the people in my life that are supportive. And Cliff, as you know, like when you come off the show, there's a lot of love on Twitter. There's hate on Twitter. You get all these different people coming at you. So I had like both ends of the spectrum. And BB21, love is like, yay, that's great. But when you, out of All Stars, when you receive like so much hate, it puts in perspective like, oh wow, like when people got you, they got you. And I don't know, I guess that put it in perspective. Like I really missed my support system and like the people like I love. So it put it in perspective.
That All Stars was kind of tough because everyone seemed to come in with preconceptions or they already had expectations built up for who they wanted to cheer for or who they didn't want to cheer for. And it didn't have that much to do with necessarily what was happening in the house all the time. Sometimes it was just based on past seasons. And I felt for you. I was cheering you on 4:00 in the morning. You're sitting in there drinking your hot tea, and I'm wishing I could be in there or shouting through those speakers to you and everything.
Yeah, and that was what was tough too. I realized in All Stars, the people that I really did make a genuine connection with on 21. So I would sit in All Stars and be like, well, where's Cliff? Where's Tommy? Like, and it's a very weird dynamic to be plopped in the same house, but with a different group of people. And you're just like, where's my people? I already went through this. I already did it. I already made it to finale. Why am I starting over? And it's it's very weird.
I gotta say, I really feel after going through that game, you can't trust anyone in the house. And yet at the same time, if you don't have at least one person that you can feel like you can trust, you don't have someone to bounce ideas off of and just to share your good moments, your bad moments. And for you, or for me, it was you. And I am so happy that you're in there. I don't know what I would have done if you'd gotten evicted on day 30 and I don't know I don't know if there would have been anyone to take your place. I can't see anyone.
And
So,
Cliff, I feel the same way. I know at Final Four, I remember going up, and I'm sure you remember. I remember going up to the upstairs DR and just crying about if Cliff gets evicted, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I can't live here for a week and a half without him. I was a mess.
I remember sitting upstairs in the HOH bed watching you walk in, very distraught, and thinking, "Oh, I already know what she's getting ready to tell me." But
yep.
You know what? The good thing is, the more you distance yourself from that game, the more you realize it's just a game, and everything starts feeling a little more acceptable and something you can live with. And hell of an experience. I'm still so happy.
Yep. And do you feel the same way that maybe do you go through phases? I feel like when I got off the show, I was like, yes, greatest experience of my life. I'm so thankful. And then I go through a phase of no, I should have never went on. I'm angry at all of it. Why did I even bother? And then I go through phases. I'm like, oh, that was pleasant. And I'm back in a place where I'm like, yes, I did that.
I'm usually pretty happy I did it just because it was such a cool experience. But there are times where it becomes more all-encompassing and other times where I just feel like I'm kind of distanced from it, especially with COVID, where even when I was going out, I was wearing a mask, so I wasn't necessarily being recognized. I was very much focused on real-world stuff. Well, now suddenly I'm going out and about without a mask on as possible and as prudent and everything. But so I'm getting recognized a little more. Big Brother 23 is on, and so I talk about that every morning. So suddenly now it just seems like I'm so involved in it once again, and now all of a sudden I'm having my dreams in the middle of the night. I'm dreaming I'm back in the house having to make decisions, or someone's booting me out of the house, and all those kind of stress dreams and things like that. So I'm kind of hot and cold depending on what time of the year it is.
I get that. I definitely get that. I think that makes sense because, you're saying, there are times because of COVID, you're so out of it that you're like, oh, that was strange. And then all of a sudden you're in Target and someone's, oh my gosh, Nicole. And you're like, oh, well, that was nice. It is pleasant. There are so many positive things that come out of it. I just love meeting new people. That's one of my favorite things.
I do too. That's been the best part. And I didn't think about that when I went to the house was, because I thought, I'm the older guy. I'm just going to do it. And then I'm done with it and move on. And yet I still meet people all the time and get to talk to them and give them some inside scoop. And it really is the best part, and the part I hadn't counted on.
I agree.
A good friend of ours is out here. Angie Hung is saying hello.
Hi, Angie.
And she's wanting to know the last time that the two of us were together in person. And Angie ought to know that very well because
she was there.
Angie was there too. We have not seen each other. Was that November of 2019?
It'll be almost 2 years, Cliff.
Yeah, we went up to Calgary, Nicole and myself and Kat Dunn. What a crazy adventure that was. I'm amazed we got Kat back into the United States. I thought they were just going to keep her up there. Not voluntarily either. But
I'm honestly shocked. I feel like it's always me. I'm the one that gets into trouble. I think it's so funny that with us it was Kat. Kat's the one that's getting stopped by border customs security. Who are you? What do you do? And she's like, did we ever share the story? I think when the customs agent when we were entering Canada, they stop you and they say, why are you here, for business or personal? What do you do? And, Cliff explains oh, we're going to be hosting an event. We were on reality TV. We're hosting a club event. I get up there. I go, oh, I'm hosting an event at a club. I was on TV. Kat gets up there and goes, okay, I was locked in a house for a very long time and I just got out. And they're like, miss, come over here.
And then they asked here in Canada, and she says, well, I'm going to a bar. And they said, what bar? And she said, I don't know the name of it.
And then she goes, she goes, my friends have all of the information. They were locked in the house too. And she just points to me and Cliff, and we're like, hi.
And then we ran as quick as we could.
Yeah.
I remember the customs person asking her, say, well, someone's paying you all to come all the way up to Calgary just to go to a bar. I think so. Yeah.
What's the name of it? I'm not sure. The girl I was in the house with has the information, and I didn't know what she was talking about, so I'm just waving. Oh man, that was an experience.
It was that was fun. We had a blast. Yeah, it's been too long. Unfortunately, if it hadn't been for COVID, we would have seen each other at Hearts of Reality, which is coming up in December. And I know you're going. I'm going. I'm so excited for that. But yeah, we would have seen each other a whole lot more than that. But COVID just put a real kink in everybody's plans. It's tough. As soon as we can make this work.
It's so far. Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait for, with that BB fight that happened. I, was worried because like my work schedule and flying down there, I had to fly back right away for a graduation party. So I was like, oh, am I going to be able to do it? So I ended up deciding not to attend the BB fight. And one of my biggest selling points, Cliff, was that obviously you were going to be there. But I was like, all right, we have Hearts of Reality in December. I will see him in December. We have a few more months to go, and it'll be the best 2-year reunion ever. I'm trying to get Kevin to go so that both of my ride or dies are there because I haven't seen you both. So that'd be awesome.
That'd be fun. All right. Now, before we talk about the fight, I did have one more question I was going to throw at you. Silent Squee was saying, what's your favorite moment from Big Brother 21? I know what yours is. I think I do. I know what mine is.
Oh man, it's tough. Like goes back to what we were saying. I feel like every month that passes, I have a new memory. And lately, I mean, you just brought up the clowns, so that's stuck in my head. And I think because I'm talking to you, I love like the pranks you used to pull. That's a big one. But I think hands down, it has to go to my double eviction win. I think.
I knew it.
You knew it was coming. I try to preface it with other things, so I know you knew it was coming. But when you go through a whole season not winning anything, and you get to a point where you're just like, I just want to see my family and hear from my family and get that one connection to the outside world, and you finally freaking win something, that was just a overwhelming. In that moment when I fell to the ground, it was like, oh my God, overcome with emotion. It was, I finally did it. I won for me and Cliff. We're safe. I'm going to see my family. And that moment, hands down, because it just,
I remember seeing that picture of your family. That was so cool because I'd heard you talk about them so long and everything. But that was tough because I remember you were so heartbroken just a week or two before when we'd done the wall competition. And you were saying, this is my comp. I've got it. Jessica and I weren't staying up on that wall. We knew it wasn't ours, but you were perfect for that, and it just didn't happen. And
I told my family before even going on Big Brother, I was like, well, we watched it obviously for years. I said, that would be mine. If I'm on that show, that's mine. That's mine. I'm going to win the wall comp. And that was never a question to me. Like, the wall comp is mine to win. And being up on that wall, and then like, you fall, Chrissy falls, Jess falls. I'm like, I know this is my comp. I have this. And it is such a discouraging feeling when your mind is strong enough to do it, but your body physically gives out. And I was just so angry at my body and disappointed in myself that I'm like, damn muscles, like, this is yours to win. I want it. I know I want it. And my body couldn't do it. And that was bad. But the next week, I guess that was mine to win. It was meant to be, but that was a tough loss.
Damn that Mickey and Tommy sitting up on that wall that long. Did you see it?
And that's what I say, a machine and a dancer. So at least I lost to two people I had no chance.
People don't. We still get grief. I know you do too. I'm sure about the whole Tommy Holly decision. People don't understand how athletic Tommy was. He was the endurance competitions. That guy could have done any of these. He threw some of. I know he threw some of those early. So that guy
know
was
he did.
Beast. Yeah, no, I know he did too. So anyway, what was I going to ask you? Did you watch this season's wall comp that they were up on the side of a boat?
I did, and Cliff, I feel away because so just hear me out. And this is me, I have to defend myself because I didn't win it on my season. So I feel as though they had like straight planks of wood to hold on to, and they had nothing behind them. So we were on an angle with these diagonal pieces of wood. So now you're one arm up here, one arm down here on an angle holding yourself. And we had those cold air things that would blow behind us. And I don't know how that didn't scare me off the wall, because the first time it went off, I thought it blew my ear off. Like, these things would shoot air behind us. And then we had the medicine balls hitting us in the chest. And I don't know how that felt for you and Chrissy and Mickey and Jess and Tommy. That was the most painful thing I've ever experienced, was getting hit with a medicine ball in the chest. Like, I was like, ow, my ribcage.
Well,
like,
I had a little more padding than you did, so it probably was a little easier for me. I was a little taller. It's hitting me in the belly, and I was okay with it. But
it would hit me like right between the boobs, and I'd be like, oh, like every time, like, oh, it's gonna crack my like rib cage.
Isn't it funny, after you've been on the show, the little things that you pick up? Because that's exactly what I said was, oh, look at those grips. I could have lasted forever with those grips up there, instead of having to alternate and find the weird angles and all. That was hard. Oh, so horrible.
I agree. The second I saw it, I said to my family, I was like, oh, we had a harder wall. That's so unfair. Like, darn it. Like, that one, I think maybe I wouldn't have won, but I think I would have at least beat, like, Tommy. I think I would have made it one more notch further, because I a lot with me was the hinkiness of trying to hold myself, whereas that is just straight.
Yeah, I'm glad you got to compete. Now, that was an HOH. That wasn't a veto competition, but I know because I remember you only competed in, what, 2 vetoes until it came down to where everyone competed all the time.
Yep. I was in the first veto, and I went, ooh, this is my summer. I'm going to be picked for every single one. I'm going to be that girl. And then I wasn't picked for like 7 or 8 in a row. And then I got picked, and then I was obviously in them because I had to be, because the numbers dwindled. But yeah, I was never in a veto.
It's because you did so well on that first veto competition, the food fight competition.
Did you know, I just saw footage of it the other day. My sister finally showed me. She's like, you have to see it, Nicole. The slow-mo videos are amazing.
Yeah.
But that was, I don't understand the physics of it. I remember so well them shooting those meatballs out of a cannon, and it knocked me on my tush. Yeah. And all I was thinking was, oh my God, don't shoot another one, because I don't want it to hit me in the face, because I was so afraid I was going to break my nose or knock my teeth out. And I didn't catch anything. And Casey was like, it's okay, Nicole. These are really tough. And I was like, Casey, look away. I'm like, I idolize you. I watched you last season. Please do not watch me.
Yeah, I didn't catch any either. And I remember looking over at Casey and saying, I guess you're still the queen of this competition. And I could just see in her face, her basically saying, yeah, I never really questioned whether that was going to change with you.
Yeah.
She just gave me that look like, yeah, go on, get out of here.
But is it not true, like, watching from home, it's very, catch it. I remember when I would watch other seasons, I'd be like, just catch it. Like, and then when you're in it, they are freaking hard comps. Yeah. They are very difficult. If you're not used to obviously hanging from a log or catching things when you're blinded by tomato sauce, that's a lot of motor planning and, I don't know, like, things that you've never thought to do. Like, I think if I was on a show again, I'd be a lot more balls to the wall, like, jumping on that table trying to catch the strawberries. But when it's your first time, you're like, oh, I guess I'll jump and slide and try to catch something. Like, I never even did that in gym class. Like, I avoided those sports.
I made the video clips because I went full speed on my belly, tried to roll, and here's the old guy doing something. Yeah, they love me for that, but I still didn't catch any strawberries.
Cliff, like, I avoided baseball and softball, all that stuff in gym class. So, like, when they were, Nicole, you're going to run, jump, and slide on the table and catch something, I was like, whoa. I go, hold on. Run, jump, slide, and catch. Like, oh, these are 4 skills I do not have.
That was horrible. But, hey, life goes on. We got early exposure to what the game of Big Brother is about. All right, I was going to talk about Big Brother boxing, and I still want to, but my mom is on online, and she's watching and saying hello.
Hello, Mama Hogg.
But she cuts right to the quick. She doesn't want to hear about boxing and all that stuff. She wants to get to the important topics. And so I will just read her comment directly, and you choose to answer how you would like to or not. Okay. Sue Hogg says, Nicole, tell us more about your boyfriend. I love seeing you two together.
Oh, Mama Hogg wants to hear about my boyfriend. He's over here. If you guys want him to make a quick little appearance. I'm gonna make
you known this was gonna happen.
I'll give you a headphone. I need to back up so they can see you.
There he is.
Hello.
This is
everyone.
Brian, aka Lefty, aka the filmer of Melentry.
See, and I knew you was Lefty, so I'm still getting used to saying Brian instead. So
Yes.
it's like the social media name, and then welcome to the real world too. So, well,
Say hello, Brian Lefty.
Hey everyone.
He's perfect, and we're matching in red because I forced him to match me in case he made an appearance. But so, a little bit about him. We met online. We met in like the chitty chat rooms, as I say, and then we did like a lot of game nights together. So we would be on Discord playing like Among Us and stuff, and we'd be either killing each other or we were both the imposters, and we'd be like joking, or we'd both be dead, like laughing together in ghost chat. And then I don't know, like I guess the rest is history. Like he DM'd me, we just started DMing back and forth, and then now here we are. It's been 6 months. We've been dating for 6 months. I'm currently in PA with him. And yeah, we're making it work. We try to like alternate. I stay out here with him. He comes out and stays with me, and he's the best.
and now we know why you aren't watching the live feeds of Big Brother 24 hours a day, and I don't blame you one bit.
Thanks, Cliff. Yeah,
So
he's
there's a lot of comments out here. Abby loves saying the cutest couple. Johan Vosche saying, looks like Victor when he was handsome.
Oh my god. He can't hear, so I'm just like looking at him like, aw. He is very handsome. Thank you.
Not that Victor is still handsome. I think Victor looks just fine now. But no, there's
yes, of course.
Y'all are getting very positive comments out here, so I wouldn't expect otherwise.
Thank you so much.
Live, so but 2 thumbs up to you guys.
Thank you. Oh, that's so sweet. He's the best, and he is gorgeous. And just a little bit also like about him. He is Puerto Rican, and I'm learning a lot about that. And also, he's a gamer, so he's been helping me not be as bad at games. I think I'm good at games, but I'm not as good as I think I am.
All right. Well, I got my kids to teach me, so maybe we'll have to try it out. See who's the better teacher here down.
Oh God.
All right, another question, Nicole. This is from Davin Kim.
Hello, Davin.
Davin, tell us about the new car. I want to hear about this as well. I saw some pictures.
Yeah, so, okay. Rewind. When I was talking to production way back when, before I even got cast for BB21, they ask you all the questions. You know this, Cliff. They ask you all the questions like, what would you do with the money if you won? What are your goals? What do you want? And I said to them, I go, if I win the money, I want a car. That's like my goal in life. Like my main goal is I just want a car. So here I am finally, like 2.5 years later. And I finally, COVID kind of put a lot of monkey wrenches into all those plans of, test driving and car shopping, all that stuff. But I finally took the plunge and got the car. I've said for the years that I love Toyota RAV4s, so I finally got a RAV4. I thought I wanted, this is a whole random story, but I thought I wanted purple. I was hell-bent on purple for the longest time. I was like, I refuse to get anything else but purple. Went to the dealership, was like looking at cars, and it is true, like when you test drive them, you kind of gauge which one's you. So like I sat in the purple one, and I was like, oh, this isn't what I thought it would be. And then I test drove another one. I'm like, well, this is nice, but I don't do blue. Like, I'm not a blue gal. And I remember being kind of like, oh, this kind of stinks. I thought it would be more like, yes. And then the guy was like, oh, we have more cars in the back if you want to drive around there and look. And we drove into the back, and I saw a red RAV4, and I never thought I'd like red because I never said I wanted a red car. And I don't know, like it just like spoke to me, and I was like, hold on a minute. And I drove it, and I'm like, this is my car. This is it. And it's been amazing. It's been obviously I'm 26, so it's been a very, very liberating feeling to, not rely on people to like drive you places or pick you up. And I know a lot of people were asking about like the name of the car, and it's Cliff, you're going to yell at me. Her name is Birdie. But the reason behind that being, I went my sisters and I went to a psychic medium recently. And she was talking about like, the spirits and the people that passed on that came through. And one of the things she said was our relatives said to look for them in red cardinals. And I don't know. I think the fact that I gravitated to a red car maybe has something to do with that. I'm very big on like signs and auras and faith and all that. So I was like, she is my red cardinal. So she's Birdie. She's my red car. So her name is Birdie, and I don't know. It's been awesome. It's been really many years in the making, but I finally got the car, and it's been wow. I love it.
Wow. Okay. Was this your first car?
Ever. Yes, first car ever.
Congratulations. My first car ever was a 1975 Caprice Classic that was about 20 feet long. You know that song, The Love Shack from the B-52?
Yes.
They talk about the car that seats about 50, it's as big as a whale. That was my car. And it was a bronze color. It was the ugliest thing in the world. I bought it.
Like a station wagon?
Well, not a station wagon, but it was as long as a station wagon. And
cool.
about as sharp and attractive as a station wagon.
Wow. We still have a station wagon. My dad still has his 66.
Oh wow! Well, that's a classic now. Now it's a big deal. That's pretty cool. Well, congratulations. So the big question with your new car is how many unicorn stickers do you have on it?
I don't have anything yet. Even like the mount to put my GPS is just like this black and silver mount, but I'm like, it needs more like zhuzh. I need some bedazzling. I think I'm gonna start putting some stuffed animals in it. One of those little things that you put on like the antenna. Does it have an antenna? I don't even know if my car has an antenna. Like, is that
probably not anymore? Yeah, probably not.
But remember, like back in the day, people would put like the little smiley face or like. Yeah. I would want a little unicorn, but I definitely need like a unicorn like hanging from the mirror. That'd be really cute. Or a bumper sticker.
Yeah, there you go. Well, I was laughing because I saw Sam's car. He's down in Orlando now. And Sam's got a bumper sticker for Big Brother on the back. He's got another bumper sticker that says "Send It" on the back. It's like, I think the last thing I want is to have a lot of people know who I am while I'm driving my vehicle. So I'm going to leave all that stuff off of mine.
That's what I would be afraid of. I'd be afraid someone would be like, wait, I think that's Nicole. Let's follow her.
So are you a different person when you're driving the car? Do you get the New Yorker road rage, get out of my way, honk the horn kind of mentality?
I have secret road rage. So like I don't honk, I don't give the finger, I don't roll down the window and yell. I just yell to myself. So if like somebody cuts me off, I'm like, oh, you freaking a-hole, like what's wrong with you? But they don't hear me or see me. So I don't know why I do it. I think it just gets it out of my system. Even though I'm not acting on it, like I'm not like giving the finger or anything, but it, or like if I'm driving and someone pulls up, like, I don't know, at like an intersection, I'm like, don't pull out, please stay right where you are. Please stop or I'm going to honk the horn. Thank you. So I kind of talk to cars as I drive, even though they can't hear me, but I like to feel like they can.
All right. Gabrielle Lovin just said, don't ruin Birdie with bumper stickers. Here's what's funny. You kept saying Birdie, and the Cardinals and all that just went completely past me. I was thinking Birdie as in Berttie, like a very old Golden Girls kind of name of an like elderly. So I was picturing a car named Birdie, not Birdie the tweets.
Yes. So my family calls her, because it's a bigger car than some of my parents' cars. So they call her like Big Bertha. So Bertha, and then for short, Birdie. So yeah, I guess that also kind of works.
Okay. It kind of fits either way. All right, Angie's saying if the two of us were to go on Amazing Race, which would be incredible, they'd have to just rename it The Incredible Race.
Right.
But if we were to go on it together, what would our respective strengths be, do you think, doing that show?
Oh, man. I think you would be more so the navigator and like the speaker, like, okay, we got to go this way. We got to talk to this person to get directions to this place. And I would be more, I don't know, you're good at puzzles too, though. I feel like I would like to try new things, but I feel like you would taste the foods, right? Like I would do food comps.
I'd eat the foods. You do the choreography. You've got a little bit more flexibility than I do, and a little bit better memory in terms. We did that flash mob dance.
Yes.
And I've seen yours compared to mine, so I know who's doing the dances if we go on the
okay. But you would definitely be the navigator, because I'd be on the wrong plane flying to Hawaii.
Yeah, I can see us running up to some rental car and me going over the driver's side and you saying, "No, I've been driving for the last 6 months. Get the hell out of the way, Cliff. I'm driving."
No, I'm a very good driver.
Well,
I think we do very well, though. I think the two of us together, I think with both of our strengths, and I think I understand what other people have told me. Like, you do get frustrated, but I don't see us two getting like angry with each other. I think it'd be a lot more like, "Come on, you could do it. Don't give up." Like, I think it'd be more like motivational.
yeah, I think we keep each other focused and calm.
Yeah.
In some way. So I think for whatever reason, I feel like when you got into your more emotional moments, I could get settled down, and likewise the same way too. And
I
got a
agree.
little frustrated. So yeah, I think it'd be a lot of fun. I
Let's
think
do
it'd be
it,
fun
Cliff.
just because I've been all over the world, and until we went to Calgary, you didn't even have a passport, and now so
Isn't that crazy? I got a passport for that event.
I know.
It's crazy.
I know. But I'm so glad you did. All right, let's go back real quick. Sorry, 7:45. These hours go so fast, Nicole.
I know, it's insane.
Especially when I get to talk to someone. I don't know. It's just like hanging out, catching up on each other.
I know. I love it.
Silent Squaw saying, "What's the most memorable place you've been besides a Big Brother house?"
Oh, man. I would have to say, besides the Big Brother house, like, Cliff was just saying, I got a passport for the trip to Canada. A lot of my travelings and going places was because of BB21. I went out of state a lot for meet and greets, so I owe a lot to Big Brother for even giving me those experiences. So I would have to say, probably like, I think Nashville, Tennessee was an amazing experience when I went to play Nashville, and I also went to play Louisville in Kentucky. I think that was just different from anything that like I experienced growing up. Like, to even fly there and experience a little bit of like the Nashville culture and walking down. I believe they call it Broadway. Like, walking down and seeing all of that, and meeting all the queens and being backstage, and I don't know, it was such a confidence boost. And I don't know, I would say that experience was definitely something that, I don't know, like once in a lifetime, and I wouldn't have had it if not for Big Brother. So that's something that I hold very close to my heart.
That'd be cool. I'd love to go to Nashville. I haven't been yet. I'd love to take Sharon and just hang out and listen to a whole bunch of country western music.
Yes.
My most memorable place, other than the Big Brother house, got to be Red Square, the Kremlin, and Moscow, Russia, in January with the snow coming down, and just the way you picture it from Dr. Zhivago and all that.
Well, I love how mine's in the country and yours is like.
Well, I've got a few more years on you, Nicole. I've been to a few more places just because I've had a little more time to explore than you have. Give it time.
Give it time.
All right, I was going to go back. We never really talked about the Big Brother boxing.
Yes.
You missed it. It was so much fun. I know y'all watch, your family watched on the pay-per-view and all that. They got into it, didn't they?
I was not anticipating how much even like I was going to get into it. I'm like, all right, we're going to get this ticket. We're going to watch it. We got to support the BB people. Oh my God. We were screaming on the couches more than we screamed for Big Brother. We were screaming for people I lived with. Like, it was obviously amazing to watch everybody, but especially like Enzo and Nick, like people that I actually lived with. My family was like, oh my God, they're fighting. So it was a really interesting experience. And then every time I'd see you, my dad would be like, put the camera on Cliff. I'd be like, Cliff. And then, we'd all be screaming. And then every time Jess would walk by, we'd be like, Jess. Like, it was just very, I wish I was there. I will admit, I regret not forcing myself to fly there. It would have been a 24-hour really quick journey, but I regret not just taking the flight.
It was fun watching. I mean, the fight itself was a lot of fun, but even more fun was the night before, hanging out with everyone. We hung out the night before at a hotel bar, and we watched the live episode of Big Brother. That's just all visited. And then afterward, and we hung out with each other, and that was incredible. I met, oh my gosh, some of the people I met Enzo. Enzo's just I told Enzo, I said, you're the oldest guy fighting, so I'm cheering for you for no reason other than that. And he gave me his whole strategy and all. We talked forever, but him and Rockstar is just incredible. I love visiting with her. You know who really surprised me? Josiah. he seems like he is so over the top when you watch his stories and everything else. And he is the friendliest, nicest guy. I just had fun hanging with him. He's just a very friendly person.
Cliff, let me just tell the people that I'm at work on Friday, and I check my phone, and Cliff is sending me pictures like, here's me with Jose, here's me with like Beast Mode Cowboy, here's me with Maddie and Julie Vu and Victoria, and I'm just like, and I wrote to you, I was like, I am jealous.
I saw everyone. It was so cool. Yeah, Natalie and so many challenge people were there. Corey and Nelson and Nani was there, and Casey and Josh. Yeah, it's just.
I want to meet them all.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do part two, which brings up the next question. If we've got another fight, who are you boxing, Nicole? Who is your match that you want to go up? Who are you calling out?
Can I be honest? A lot of the people I watch scare the bejesus out of me. Like, I think weight class wise, I'm probably closest to Maddie and Rockstar. So when they got out there, I was like, let's go. I could take both of them. And then I saw them fight. And I was like, yeah. So I don't want to call out anybody because I am scared.
I wouldn't want to fight Maddie or Rockstar. They were getting into it.
I know. Fight of the night, in my opinion, that was the fight of the night. They went blow for blow. Neither of them cowered. Neither of them backed down. They just kept on going. And they're like small like me. So I was like, damn, girls.
So I've got your boxing opponent. I actually thought about this a little bit ahead of time. And it's not Big Brother Canada. We'll have to stay within the United States. But
okay.
I would love to see a matchup between you and Natalie Negrati.
Oh, God.
Because Natalie, she's petite. I think size-wise, y'all would match up well with each other.
Okay.
She's got a little Latin spice in her. I have a feeling she could bring it when she needed to. But
that's what I'm saying. I think there's two extremes. I think I'd either panic and pass out before the fight started, or I would go full crazy like Jose and just go tunnel vision and knock the person out. And they're like, Nicole, you won. And I'd be like, what? Like, I think there's two extremes. I either pass out or go batshit.
I would love to see the Long Island Beast against the Latin spice of the two of y'all going against.
Oh my gosh. I'm going to start training.
Well, don't ask Nick for training advice. He obviously.
Oh, we love him. I
love Nick. I was cheering on Nick. He gave it. Hey, that's what I told everyone. Win or lose, just your willingness to get out there and fight like that is a heck of a. They talk about putting yourself out there.
That's what I said. Like, even just to do it, like, and I respect all of them a lot for after the fight saying, well, at least he had the balls to fight me. At least he had the balls to get up. Yeah. I was like, that's amazing that there weren't people that were like, yeah, in your face, you saw. Like, it was, no, you did it. Yeah. You came out here and did it. And that's what I give more credit to, because I would have been like, no, thank you.
All right, I'll give you a little inside scoop that I heard that was pretty amazing. Because they're not professional boxers, so they just brought out all these boxing gloves for everyone to put on. So all the guys are trying to find the gloves that fit them the best and all. Yeah. Well, the women, because you don't have many women fighters, they didn't have used gloves. They had all brand new gloves for the ladies to put on. And I didn't realize until I was talking to some of the real boxers there. They said, yeah, that's really rough because when you first put on a glove, it's like a baseball mitt. It's hard. The leather is super hard until you've worked that glove and you've kind of made that leather a little more supple and all that. So I felt the glove that the ladies were wearing versus the men's gloves, and the ladies felt like rocks. I mean, when they threw a punch, that had to just hurt. So it was. Oh my gosh. It was fun, and they didn't show it on the camera, but I got jealous of the three ring girls, Julie Vu, Victoria, and Jessica, walking around the ring. So in the second round of Casey's fight, I actually did the ring walk myself. I walked in the ring, and I went around and showed off the ring card and all that.
And they said, and obviously I love and adore Casey, but they said, and here comes Cliff Hogg around the ring, and they didn't show you. They showed Casey's face, and my family was screaming. Like, we love Casey, but we were like, damn it, put Cliff on the screen.
Yeah, the three girls were dressed to the nines and a little risque, but
yeah, you should have been wearing that.
Well, I guess old Boss Hogg walking around the ring with my round card was too risque even for pay-per-view television. So there you go.
I knew it. I knew you were wearing something risky.
Yeah, you know me. All right, real quick, because it's 7:55, and I knew this was going to happen. But,
I know, it flew.
I understand that you got a little trip scheduled next week, huh?
Yes, next week we venture to Florida for the first time ever. I've never been, and we are going to Disney, which I've never been to Florida. I've never been there, so we're going to Disney. We're going to Harry Potter World. My sisters, my boyfriend, and our bestie Rachel, and myself, obviously. We've saved up, and it's a big deal. It's our first big adventure, and I'm excited.
You can get some butter beer while you're there.
Yes, all of it. I'm going to be snacking.
Wear a sorting hat, and I have no doubt Slytherin has your name on it.
I hope so. Oh my gosh! And sometimes Tom Felton visits Universal. So if I'm walking around, Tom Felton's walking around. I'm gonna be so excited.
Well, you know, Tom Felton may be at home somewhere saying, if Nicole Anthony's walking around and I see her, I'm going to be so excited.
Could you imagine? Talk about passing out. That'd be it.
All right, so here's a little clue when you go to Universal Studios, knowing the mall entry and all that. It's Universal Studios and not Universal Studs, okay?
Oh, look, Universal Studs. Let's go. Not me, of course.
Yeah. You're going to have fun. I'm so jealous of it. It's going to be fun. Sharon and Kelly and Daniel and I went quite a few times and just love Disney World. I haven't done, well, no, we did Universal a little bit, but Disney was mainly where we hit. You're going to have so much fun.
I can't wait. I have no idea what to expect because I've never been. It's kind of like how I didn't understand how they were going to fly us home after Big Brother. I don't understand how Disney works. Like, is it just one big archway and I walk through it and then I'm in Disney? How are there different parks? What does different parks mean? Do I have to drive there? Do I get a trolley? I'm confused. Well, we'll see.
Yeah. Fortunately, there'll be a whole lot of people standing around to help you every step of the way. All right, here's my little hint to you, just of everything you do. At the end of the night, do not be in a hurry to leave. As soon as they do fireworks or whatever they do nowadays, I'm not sure they're still doing fireworks. As soon as they announce the park's closing, everyone rushes out to get to the parking lot to be out the door as quick as possible.
Oh.
Don't do it. Hang back. Make sure you're one of the very last people in the park because then it's not crowded. You get to enjoy it. You enjoy it when there's no one else there. It's quiet. It's calm. It's dark. And you know, the rides are shut down, but just walking through the place when it's not all hectic and everything is just a nice way to end the evening. And so
I love that.
Don't be in a hurry to leave at the end of the evening.
Okay. Oh, I love that. Thank you.
All right. We got a couple of minutes. Anything else going on that the world needs to be aware of?
I can't talk. In regard to life, I am back to teaching. I am back in the school education system. I've been there for the past 3 or 4 months, and it's been lovely. It's been amazing to, like, me and you were talking about, Cliff, just to get back to being, like, you know, grounded and in life and, you know, back to normalcy after 2 crazy years, just to kind of settle for a little bit. You know, who knows what the future brings, but I don't know. It's been amazing, and kids keep you on their toes. I'm getting muscle, so I'm getting ready for the next BB fight. And it's been amazing. It's been a lot of fun.
So do you have the same kiddos? I mean, not the same ones, but the same age group that you had before going into the house, the younger kids? Same
age group, and there actually were a couple that were there prior to my leaving 2 years ago. Oh, wow. So they started in EI, early intervention, and now they're on their way to kindergarten. So it was cool to see the kids that, oh my gosh, I knew you from 2 years ago. You were like an infant, and now, you know, so it's been amazing. But yeah, I'm with preschoolers, and they are, some of the things that come out of their mouths are hysterical, and I missed it, and I love it, and like I said, it keeps me on my toes.
Well, good. I know I can see just a smile on your face when you talk about those kids, what it means to you. So very happy for you.
Thank you.
All right, Nicole, it's been an hour. Well, we need to do it again. This is
I know
we don't need to be waiting this long in between. That's horrible, but
true.
But I got to fight with for time with Lefty now with Brian. So I'll take what I can get because I know where your priorities are. So that's okay.
All
right. Well, thank you so much. Oh, I'm
Thank
so
you.
happy you were able to
I
come on
know.
board. This is so great. And guys, I know some of the comments we didn't get to, but we just have so much fun talking. So
Yes.
apologies for that.
We'll be doing it again soon.
Yeah, we'll do it again. All right, let me just sign off with a big old SKD 143. I love my wife, I love my kids, love the reality fans around the world. Nicole, I love you as well. I'm so happy to have you as a friend. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Cliff.
And
I love you.
guys, y'all have a fantastic Monday night. Have a great rest of the week, and give hugs to your loved ones.
Yes.
Happy birthday to Mama Anthony. Please tell her we send all our best wishes up to Long Island. Hope she has a fantastic day tomorrow.
Thank you so much, Cliff. And everybody, make sure you get your tickets if you want to go to Hearts of Reality in December, because we'll be there. Well, this way. We'll be there. Where am I?
Yeah.
This way.
Yeah.
We'll be there.
I'm ready. And I'm going to have to talk Bella into going as well so I can get that last signature on my hat. So,
yes.
All right, guys. Y'all have a great one. We got to shut it down, but we'll do it again.
Love
Cheers,
you.
guys.
Wow.